So a little bit about the form. So so in today's webinar, I will be discussing 3 use cases, right? And this is about form. So we wanted to let you know that how we can use Monday forms differently. So those you have already used the form is nothing but the basically you have the board, right? You are very well aware of the board and the columns. But for what form does it, let's say that you want to take this initial data from someone else, right? So the form becomes very easier. Because sometimes you have the process, right, or you have some approvals based on that data which is coming in. So it's very easy if you have that form approach, right? And then there is a form, and then you want the data to reside in this board. All you do is, I already have the form created here, but I'm going to show you, assume that this form is not there, I'm going to show you how you can create a new form. So let's say that this is your process. You have the order, you have the quantity, full name, and all these information about the order. So all you do is just add a view. A form is nothing but the view, right? You're just creating a form view. That's what we say. And then in the background, something happens. So I'm going to show you that too. I know for some of you, it will be a little basic, but I want to start from here and then go to the advanced level. So just add a form. So you have different views here. So you just add a form here. And then you can name this form too. By default, it will be form, right? Order form. So now I have renamed it. By default, Monday will take all these columns into consideration, and it will show you. So now if I want to show this form, like see this form, how this looks, because still over here, I'm still in the building mode, right? But if you want to see this form, how this form looks, then you will go into the preview here and you will look at the form. So this is by default form. Just by one click, Monday created this form. Now I want to customize this form because I don't want to see all these fields like status and priority, which are there on the board, but I don't want them to see on the form, right? So what I'll do is I created a form, right? And then I'm going to edit it because I want to hide these. So basically I will edit form. So I'm going to edit this. And then your form gets open here, and now you can, so it's kind of a building plane here, where you have option to change the color, right? You have the option to change the font color too, right? Some of the features, Monday is quite good in updating these, releasing these features. So some of the features are recently updated here. So for example, these colors and the fonts, you can change the font. Monday is trying to, because there are different form platforms, right, in the market. So Monday is trying their best to come up with these new release. Also, you can change the color of the font. This was when initially Monday launched the form, these features were not there, but I think Monday is making them better and better. So good for us, right? Also, we can also upload the logo here, right from here. I'm going to upload the logo, and also change the color. So this when you go under text, it's for the text color, but when you come here, it's actually the form color. So let's say I want to make it right, so I can choose my colors. So according to the where you are posting this form, let's say that you want to match up with your website, right? For us, our website do have this green color, right? Or I can, so these were customized color, but I can use the standard colors too, which is there for the status column, which is easier, I feel. So I can change the color too. Now, I wanted to show you how to hide particular option, particular question, right? Because status we don't want to, because status is for our process, we don't want to show, right? So when you hover over, so right now everything is here, so when you hover over any question, so otherwise it's not seen. So it takes a little bit of practice, but when you hover over this, everything is shown here. If it is required question, right now I don't have any required question, but like a mandatory question. But if I choose required, that means this asterisk, you are very well aware, that means these certain fields are mandatory, and I can hide this question. So I want to hide my status, so I'm going to hide this. Okay. Also I want to hide my priority, because that's for my internal process. So now I did the changes. There's no save button, so everything is automatic here, automatically gets saved. But now if I refresh, you see the color is still earlier one, but if I refresh, and in real time you don't even have to refresh, it will get updated. But this is, we are doing it very quickly, so I do have to hit the refresh button. So now if we see, my status and my priority are hidden. Also, there are some more customization here, right? So some of the languages like are from left hand side or a right hand side. So Monday recently came up with that RTL also, and left language also. So for now, we will do it this way. So Monday is making the form more and more user friendly, right? Now I wanted to show you further customization, like make this form anonymous. That means we won't know who has submitted this form. Or you see in this form we have this branding, right? So you can hide the branding. Also, this submit button, by default this is always submit, right? But you can change this so for some other use case, let's say it's apply, right? So you can change that too. If it is a job application, you would want to say apply, and then it gets changed here. But by default you don't have to worry about it, because by default it's always submit. Then also after submission, we can choose if there is additional submission, means uh, basically by default it's no, right? And then if you say yes, you can just say, you can click submit another one if you want. So for this use case, maybe it's good because there will be a repetitive order form, so we may want to do this submit another one, right? Also there is a redirect link for another use case, which is my next use case, which is a job application. I can have my another like a website, right? My website adds a direction link, and then customize message. If you want to add something, thank you for submitting your order, and we'll get back to you within so many days, right? You can mention that too. Right. Or also, if you don't want these image, you can also hide that and make it look more professional, right? So that was there. Also, yeah, also if you want to, so I'm going to submit this form, and I'm going to show you how we can, like, because we can set the group for answers too. So right now there are two groups, new order and delivered. So I can choose whichever group. So of course I'll be choosing new orders here. And even if you don't select it, don't worry, it will be always the first group the responses will go to. So I can choose new order here, right? And use form internally means you don't want, so order form is definitely, let's say it's an internal process, right? It's a purchase department and you want to use this form internally. Then if you select this, that means without logging in, people cannot use this form, because use the form, you have to have the same domain, right? So depending on your use case, you can enable this. Then we also have, I already showed you about the sharing the form, right? So okay, so you this is a link, right? And if you, so this is a link, you will be sharing it with your, let's say that you are using it for internal purposes, then you can also shorten the URL. This also Monday came up recently, that way you have a short URL. And if you share this link on your common place where employee can go and look, or you can embed also on your website, depending on your use case. So that is a sharing option. Also, these are some of the restriction, right? You can have just like other platforms, other form platforms, Monday also has this capture challenge, then also restrict. So this one restrict form to account members only, right? So you need to have the login for the form. Then also this, actually I saw this recently, that you can stop the submission on so and so date. That means um, you can deactivate form. Let's say that there is it's a campaign form and you want to deactivate after a certain date. So Monday has recently come up with this, by means after this date the form will be automatically deactivated, right? Okay, so and also Monday recently came, so this one I will explain it to you in the other two use cases. For now, I'm just coming out of this form now. Please feel free to, if you have any questions, use that question answer, and I will address those questions later. Okay, so now in this use case, I just wanted to show you how the form can be built, right? And also how you can use this form differently, in a sense there. So as soon as I submit, my data will come here, and there's some logic I have used, because this is an order form and I have a quantity here. So right now, I have used the logic where, let's say that I want to know if the quantity is greater than certain amount. I want to set my priority, meaning, okay, so what you want to order, I'm just gonna say computer, right? And quantity is 400, name. Okay, so, and I'm gonna submit this. So this is in a minute, the entry will come here. So I have this entry. Now I want to decide the priority based on my quantity. So right now I have an automation here, and you can build this automation differently also. In a sense, I just have one condition. I'm using a condition in my automation, and you can use two conditions too, because yeah, let me show you. Okay. Yeah. So basically, whenever that form is submitted, that means whenever my item is created, I want to know if the quantity is more than 500, then set my priority to critical. So right now, nothing happened because my quantity was less than 400. But let's say that if I submit it and the quantity is more, uh, 101. Now, if I go here in my board, laptop 501, and in a minute, this automation will kick in and it will show me the priority as critical. So let me refresh this. You see? So I use the same form, but I use the data and the automation wisely, so I can have further processes just like this. Further, this is nothing but the workflow, right? But I can build on that. I don't have to get the data into the form and then use this and then change, then use the automation. Everything is happening like at a stretch. Like whenever my entry is coming, every Monday is checking by default all the condition and setting the priority to critical. Now this, I just gave you one example, but there can be several use cases just like this. If you want to know if it is more than 500, so there are like priorities here, right? So if you want to know more than 500, or you can set, you can use the number. So this is the number automation I have used, right? So there is one more condition where the number is in between, and then set the priority to. So you can use this automation in several ways, but I just thought of showing you one, so that if there is any similar use case, you can further enhance it. Okay, so this was one use case, form and the automation. Now another one I wanted to show you is this form and the conditional logic, right? So this is a form. I'm just going to open it. Application form. This is the application, and this form I just application form, I just picked it up from the template center, right? I just added it from here. Yeah. Okay, so this is the form. I'm just application form for job application form. So I have some data here, and I want to know that, right? So I want to know, and here is the very important question, which is how did you hear about this role? And all for HR, all for recruitment business, they or if it is a agency based or any HR, any organization, they would like to know from where our candidates are coming, because it's very important to do the source analysis. If you're from HR background, you will know the importance, because basically, let's say they would want to know where to invest, what, right? If they want to invest more, if the candidates are coming more from job site, then you might as well invest more in the job site or social media. Or they would want to know if it is a referral, then there's another logic. They would want to know who's the referral and things like that. So for this, basically we use the conditional logic. Right now there is no conditional logic here, but I want to show you how to build it. So I did not build any, but I wanted to show you show how to build it from the scratch. So if you are on Monday and if you have the login, please, you can start building that with me, or we'll be able to send you the recording too in order to refer it later. So I have to go into the edit form, right? Right now on the board, there is just how did you hear about this role? And that's what is in my form. So in order to build the conditional logic, you have to go into the edit form, right? You cannot go it into the, so right now I just added the, so how I just added these columns, and then those appeared in the form. But for conditional logic, you have to edit it in, you have to go through this route, because there is, as the name suggests, there's some logic, right? You want to build the question on based on some answers. So I'm going to go into the edit form, and I want to have the some conditional logic here, that if the source is social media or job site, I want some another question to pop up. So same logic, I just go here and hover. So I just have to just click here, and then when you click, it will show you the include condition. So I'm going to include the condition now. When I click here, it will ask me is, so basically if the answer is one of them, then what, then the add the question. So I want to know that if my answer is social media, or I want to know job site, right? So let's say, let's build one, and then I'll explain you the other one too. So is if answer is one of the job site, then I want to know which job site. And so now when I do that, it asks me add another question, and these are the formats of the another question, like, right? So I want to choose single select. Single select is nothing but the status column. Multi select is drop down. You can choose anything. I'm just choosing this for this use case. If the answer is one of the job site, then I'm asking them the question that, sorry, which site? And then I'm gonna say indeed.com or monster.com. Yeah, right. And then if I just have to come out. So now if you see, I added this question, and now if I go back here, automatically automatically this is also entered here question, but I could not enter it from the board. I have to enter it from the form. That is very important step. And also oh, our options, and then once it is added, then definitely you can add more, and then it will show up in the form too, right? Now I will just refresh this form. Okay. Yeah, you have saved changes on this form submission. Okay. So now if I say, because I built it just the logic, so if I say now job site, it will show me which job site, Indeed or monster.com, right? And then I can also have another questions like I'm gonna go to form again. I can also have another question if the if the answer is, like if the source is referral. So now add another condition, right? I can add another condition too, that if and this time it is if the answer is, if the, yeah, here, if answer is one of the referral, then I can say because now it's just I want to know the employee whose referral is given, so I can just say employee name. And now it will appear here too. Yeah, and you can have employee referral name or employee ID or just employee email ID. Please feel free to choose any depending on your use case. But you can use this conditional logic on your form. So this was so this is so if you have any conditions on your form, then definitely you can use this. Also, I wanted now let's go to third use case actually, which is another feature update which Monday came up with, and I was very happy to see that update. If you have noticed, Monday forms, we have this person column on Monday board, right? And which is very useful because in order to give you the because you want to assign this request for someone or notify someone, right? Which we use this person column and notify them, or any automations depending on reminders, we use this person column a lot, right? But if it is a form, then all of you know that Monday form was not used to support these person column, right? Which, and then in some of my client, it was must have that they wanted to use, meaning they wanted that whenever this is submitted, particular request is submitted, assign this person column automatically. But of course, the form was not able to use, form was not supporting the person column. So we have to have like another logic where, you have the project request, and we have to have another column which is a status column or a drop down column, where you actually select the status. Like actually the status will be the person name, and then if that person, and then we have to use the automation that, hey, if when form is submitted and if my status is so and so, then assign this person. Right, but now no longer we have to do that. Let me just do this. Right, so this is PM, right? So this is initiator, means the one who is submitting it. But let's say that the project request comes in and I want to automatically assign PM from the form itself, and the person who's requesting it, they are able to choose this PM, right? But it was not possible because Monday form was not supporting this person column. But now, as soon as you have the person column on your form, and if you hit the edit button, Monday will actually, oh, okay, actually give you this pop-up, because and earlier there used to be a message here that, hey, your form, some of your columns are not supported by Monday. Many of you must have seen that. But now, as soon as other forms didn't have this because there was no person column. If your table board has person column, then this will be here, and then it will prompt you basically to unlock this question, please restrict the form to account members only. So when this will be useful, definitely this is useful only for the internal purposes. That means when you're using this form internally, because you're requesting a project and you want to someone to be assigned which is in Monday in your organization. So this works out, right? This is good because anyways we are using this form internally. So then I am to unlock this question, please restrict the form to account members only. So, and as soon as I do that, restrict form access to, okay, so now my form is only accessible to my company people. And this works because anyways we are using this form for internal purposes, and we are utilizing this because now if I share this form, you see, I enabled it, and also I'm gonna show that question because it was hidden. So as soon as I enabled it, yes, I am agreeing to use this form internally. And I have to, of course, because this was hidden, that is why it's not showing me, but I have to also enable the show question. Okay, now if I refresh this, you see now all the information, and also, and this I have just used PM, but this can be any other use case where you are submitting something, but you are also requesting who you want them to work on, right? This can be any other use case, but the point is you can use this person column, and this makes our life very easy. Because, and then the beauty is you can see everybody in your organization here. So these are actual people, actual licenses in my organization, right? All my colleagues. So in my achievan.com domain, how many like whichever will be there, all the active users will appear here, and I can choose them here in the form itself. And right, and I am submitting this. Oh, so now if I see, I don't have to have that extra workflow where I have to build the automation, and building automation is okay. But what if you have let's say that you have 5 PMs, then you have to build automation 5 times, right? The other automate the before this, you had to build that automation 5 times. That if the status is, if the person selected is so and so, then, and what happens when somebody joins new, right? You have to remember to add that automation. But right now, as soon as they are in your Monday, this person column will show up and you can choose them from the form itself. And of course, this form, you can use it only internally, but this anyways, it's useful only for the internal use case, because let's say for job application, it wouldn't make any sense to have that person column assigned, right? Because anyways, this form can is used by candidates which are outside your organization.